Hello, everybody. This is Howard, the Teaserking. I've been out of town for a couple of weeks, and then I've been sick, as you can hear from my voice. So it's hard to do a YouTube when you can't talk. I apologize. I'm here to give you the championship game results and go over last week and just some basic, from what I'm watching, some just my thoughts and processes. Had a nice big week last week. Had the under in the Atlanta Philly game. Had New England. Had New Orleans, very strong. And my only loser was a small Pittsburgh laying the one. I didn't bet a lot on Pitt. It was a very small play. And that's the thing. Some people look at, oh, you went 3-1. I go, no, you can't look at it because I don't bet even, I don't bet $25 or $5,000 on each game. I'm betting different amounts on stronger plays. So when I go 3-1, if I hit the strong play and lose the weak play, it's not 3-1. It's a lot more than that. So a lot of people are, some of them are having difficulty understanding my methods and methodology and, how you bet teasers and, yeah, you lose the game, but they're not all, that's why I do units, because they're not all the same bet. So I'm trying to educate people because I'm not sure they fully understand like how you play teasers and what it is. And this is something I've been doing since 1977. So I know that you can't bet the same amount on every play. If I would have done that, I would have went 3-1 and I would have broke even last week. I didn't break even last week and I went 3-1, partly because I had Atlanta and under and New Orleans and a big teaser. I had Atlanta in another teaser. I had New Orleans in another teaser. And I had Pitt once with New England. So, you wouldn't. That's why I bet multiple teasers and multiple amounts. So you got to understand that. You get pocket aces depending on who you play and what's going on, what type of game. It's not the same bet every time. It's usually who you're playing and the type of game. So anyway, a quick breakdown. Atlanta, Philly. I've noticed Atlanta's been playing really good defense. Their offense is crappy with Sarkisian, who's a drunk. I can't believe he's their offensive coordinator. These people are idiots to keep, to even hire a Sarkisian. I'm shocked. It's like, how stupid are they? And and then to see that and then not make not bring in a better offensive coordinator. And then as the ship's sinking because you can't score 20 points a game, what do? You leave them in there, and then it finally haunts you when you score 10 points on Philly, when you should score a lot more. But Philly without Wentz isn't the same team. They're a very good defensive team, as you can see by the stats, which is why I keep the stats. That's why I look at the points for and against. It's one of the methods that I combine with my other methods. It's not my sole method, but it does help because you see the defense, you see the offense. You go, oh, Atlanta, great defense. Philly, great defense. It's probably an under game because without Wentz, Philly ain't going to score. Atlanta doesn't score anyway. They only scored 26 on the Rams, and that was 2 turnovers on. They don't know how to shout and say, hey, get out of the way, the punch short. This is like, I saw that happen again yesterday in the Pitt game, I think. These guys are too stupid to understand if it's a short punt, get out of the way. Unbelievable. This is like high school stuff. I don't. This coaching just sucks in the NFL right now. New England's New England. They're going to blow out. Mariota sucks. It was just, here you go, and I just don't see. Mariota's not a good quarterback. I mean, these quarterbacks that have to run because they can't throw, I can get 10 yards. Then eventually what happens is they get injured, and then they're out, and then they don't run, and they can't pass. It's like Michael Vick or half these quarterbacks. And Wentz, who shouldn't be running, is running and getting hurt. You run, but if the defense is there, you don't run for the touchdown. You get down. You got to play for the year for the team, not one play. Oh, I got a touchdown. It's not important. The important is that you're healthy because there's a huge difference in quarterbacks. Nick Foles is okay, but he's not great. Jacksonville Pitt. I did an analysis on Jacksonville, and they played so many weak quarterbacks that it's skewing their points against. I mean, their points against looks like it's 17. But when you filter out the bad teams, the Indies without Luck, the Houstons without Watson, the Tennessees with Mariota, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Baltimore, all these crap teams with the crap quarterbacks, and you just took their stats with Roethlisberger, Rivers, Russell Wilson. So there's like 5 or 6 games. I got 2, 4, I got 6, 7 games where they played good quarterbacks, and including yesterday's 42 by Roethlisberger and 44 by our buddy Garoppolo on Frisco. Puts up 44 on him in a must-win game. That tells you everything you want to know about Jacksonville. They get in a must-win game, they lose. They did that twice at the end of the year, so they are not a good team. When the money's on the line, they're choking. Anyway, they give up 27 a game against good quarterbacks. That doesn't include A. Rodgers, D. Breeze, or T. Brady. So here comes Roethlisberger. He puts up 42. Garoppolo puts up 44, and he probably is running the New England offense. Here comes Brady. It's going to be 40-something. Jacksonville cannot handle a good quarterback, and they're built, that's the biggest difficulty this year in the handicapping. Was you got teams, here's Jacksonville playing Buffalo at home in a playoff game, a 10-3 game. They play Tennessee 15-10. They lose in a must-win game it could have been for the 2 seed. Pittsburgh lost. But since they blew the game against the 49ers and they blew a game against Tennessee, so they weren't the 2 seed. So this is why they got lucky. They had to go to Pittsburgh in the cold. They somehow won. And then they score 45 points. And you're like, okay, this is what makes handicapping fun. Here's a team that scores 10 points on a weak Buffalo team with no quarterback and puts up 45 on Pittsburgh. Now, granted, Pittsburgh does not have the defense that it normally has. There's no Jack Ham. There's no Jack Lambert. There's no Mean Joe Green or Mel Blount or Donnie Shell, Mike Wagner. I mean, it's just, you're not dealing with those guys, but, Pittsburgh's D, where's Pittsburgh's D? Pittsburgh's D gives up 20 points a game. And here they give up 45 in a must-win. So, it's hard to get a grasp on what the team is. Are they a good scoring team or are they not? Are they a good defensive team or not? And it all depends. So I'm breaking out their defense into when they play a good quarterback and when they play the crappy quarterbacks. So against a crappy quarterback, they don't give up a lot of points because they don't let you run. They're fast. But against a good quarterback, they get picked apart. Garoppolo, Roethlisberger yesterday. I think in the first game with Roethlisberger, you don't know what you're getting here because they're new. It's like a new pitcher. He comes out the first time he pitches, you don't know how to deal with him. What has he got? Oh, I didn't know he had a curveball like that. And he's got a slider. After you see him 5 or 6 times and you got film on him, now you know how to hit him. And I think that's what happened with Jacksonville. At first, you don't know. They sucked last year. They were terrible. All of a sudden this year, now I tried to adjust to them, but it was still hard. They go and they kill Baltimore and lose to the Jets. How do you figure out a team like that? And that's what makes handicapping hard is teams like that. So I thought I had a really good year handicapping considering what I was dealing with. The Rams go 3-13, boom. Jacksonville goes, 2-14, they're in the playoffs. When I look at the playoff teams from last year, okay, of the playoff teams, I think you only had 3 teams that were repeating. You had Detroit, they weren't in it. You had Green Bay, they're not in it. Atlanta was. The Giants not in the playoffs. Dallas not in the playoffs. Seattle not in the playoffs. Pitt was. Miami not in the playoffs. Of course, New England. Houston not in the playoffs. Oakland not in the playoffs. So of that, you had KC, New England, and Pitt, and Atlanta. You had 4 teams who made the playoffs last year make the playoffs this year. And here's Jacksonville. 15-1 bet against last year. Cleveland, of course, 15-1, but that's where the stats come in. Cleveland stayed 15-1 to bet against. All of a sudden, Jacksonville changed their whole their trend. I mean, they were 9-0 bet against on the road last year, Jacksonville, and this year they're 5-0 bet on them and 1-4 bet against. This is why I do the stats, but this just shows you what happens with the stats. So this year you got Minny in there. You got the Rams, who came from nowhere. New Orleans, who was getting better, but now got this defense. And their draft picks, the cornerbacks, and Kamara. Carolina came back. Philly out of nowhere. Tennessee out of nowhere. Jacksonville's in the playoffs. Buffalo's in the playoffs. And the common denominator, Kansas City and New England and Pittsburgh. The KC does their one and done choke. That was pretty obvious. New England should go to the Super Bowl. Pitt's out again. And now it's between Philly and Minnesota. So, that's what makes handicapping. This is why I do my stats the way I do them. Because if what do? You got to look at last year. Part of what I'm putting in the analysis is these new coaches now. This guy in the Rams, you never hear of him. All of a sudden, I don't get where he's such a great coach. Like, no, he's got good balance. It just shows you how bad Jeff Fisher was, because he had the same talent. He couldn't do anything. The new guy comes in. He throws slant passes, and all of a sudden, Jared Goff's a good quarterback. I don't know. So a lot shows the different philosophies. One thing I want to note is Philadelphia is running the Baylor offense. This is what Baylor does, and they score 45 a game with. They do an option off of the, how Oklahoma ran their wishbone in the 70s and the 80s, Barry Switzer. They'd option the defensive end. So the quarterback is going to hand the ball to the fullback, and he looks at the defensive end. And if the defensive end comes down to make the tackle, he takes the ball out of his gut, and he walks around the side with the halfback, and now they're going to option out the quarterback. The quarterback comes to the quarterback, he flips it to the running back. If the quarterback takes the running back, the quarterback keeps it. Baylor, what they do, which I thought was brilliant, was they option the safety. So the quarterback has the ball in the running back's hands, just like a wishbone. If the safety comes up, he takes the ball out and he throws a slant where the safety was. So they're keying the safety, not the defensive end, and it's not a run option. I'm going to keep it or hand it. It's a pass option. If the safety stays back, I hand it off because there's 7 in the box. If the safety comes up to make 8 in the box, I hit my wide receiver on a slant in because there's no safety to stop it. That is the Baylor offense. This is not an NFL offense. Finally, they're listening to me and running some college offense. That is why Philadelphia averaged 31. It's not Carson Wentz isn't the greatest thing. And that's why Nick Foles has to learn this offense. It's not Chip Kelly's. It's Baylor's. Chip Kelly did not run this offense. He ran jet sweeps, and he never optioned off the safety. I never saw Oregon do that. He basically optioned off the defensive end, like when they played Auburn. They kept not blocking their defensive end. So no, this is Baylor's offense, not Oregon's. So Nick Foles doesn't know this. That's why he's having trouble with it. But so Carson Wentz isn't that good of a quarterback. It's the system of running the Baylor offense, which you would think Bryce Petty would be perfect for. So watch the Jets start to run this offense, and they'd be very successful. This is a great offense, and I think every team will start running it. If you notice in college, the teams running the Baylor offense are very successful. They score a lot. Syracuse, Bowling Green, when the coach was there, then he went to Syracuse. My other problem is all these coaching changes. Um, you got 6, 7 coaches moving in the pros and 32 teams. You had what, 5, 6 new coaches last year. Now you got another 6, 7 coaches. And you don't know who's going to be good or not. So every year you got to wait 5, 6 games to make sure, oh wait, here's a Jacksonville, here's a Rams, who were terrible. It's like the Bears, all right? Here they got Trubisky, who's average. Or in San Francisco, they got a new coach. They didn't score. They bring in Garoppolo. They start scoring. Okay, what are they going to do next year? So you almost have to wait, 6, 7 games with these new coaches to really understand what do you have. And remember, the first week in the NFL is meaningless because these guys don't scrimmage enough. In the exhibition, they don't play the 4th game, and then all of a sudden, game 1, you want them to play a full game, which ain't going to happen. That's why you get all these injuries. So that's what's happening in that. So you got to be careful with the coaches. So it's not getting harder. It's getting less consistent. You're getting Jacksonville scoring 10 points one week, 40 points the next. It's very hard to handicap it. So you just need to understand more of the variables. You never had to worry about that stuff too much before. You could kind of see a team coming. Parcells coming, Joe Gibbs at Washington, Ernie Zambezi, the Rams, all these teams. You could kind of, they got this coach, and you knew the coach, and you could see, here comes the team. Ditka's on the Bears, boom, boom. So you could kind of see it coming. Here, it's just harder because you don't know the assistants. Most of them are terrible. So you just got to go with it. I got to study the Vikings offense. It's probably an offshoot of this Baylor offense, which is probably every team's going to go to it because it really is a great offense. Because you just option the safety. Whatever he does is what you do. Other problems I'm seeing with football in general, way too many commercials, way too much instant replay, too long instant replay. The refs are so bad. They miss so many calls. It's terrible. The instant replay is not a frame by frame. Slow it down to 0, and then let's take 20 minutes to analyze the play to say, no, you have referees. First of all, if the referee blows the call, he blows the call. It doesn't matter. That's what you're going to deal with. You have referees. You think the referees in the NBA or baseball make the call correct every time? Of course not. But that's part of the game. All right, they blew the call. They blow about 10 calls a game. Okay, fine. So in football, I don't understand. The referee's standing right in front. He calls it a touchdown, or he calls it an incompletion, or the guy's out of bounds. That's the one that gets me. He's on the sidelines. You can see the guy's foot's in. He calls it a touchdown. Well, let's go to review. And then they review it for 5 minutes when it's clear his foot's in or his foot's out. You can see it in 5 seconds. So, I mean, my thing is, I would get rid of instant replay. I don't think it's not what it's intended to be. It's not supposed to be you get every call right. That's not the point of football with the referee. That's not the point of instant replay. Instant replay should be if we can't tell in 30 seconds, we're going to go with the call. It shouldn't be a 5-minute thing. Imagine you're at the movies, right? You're watching The Godfather, when it first comes out. Can you imagine there's a 5-minute break for, we got to review what's going on. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. I don't mean an intermission. I mean halfway into the movie, it's getting exciting. Wait, we're going to stop the movie for 5 minutes because we got to replay something. I mean, that's what they're doing, and these commercials are way too long. The referees are so bad. I mean, oh my God, it's just like yesterday they were clearly rooting for Minnesota. The referees, every call went against New Orleans, And they were, half of them were bullshit calls, and then New Orleans got no calls. I think they got one call. So, I mean, it was clearly they were favoring Minnesota, and New Orleans still almost got the win there. They should have got the win. So these are my problems with football. It's becoming very hard to watch. If I don't DVR it, and I can fast forward it, it's hard to watch it live because of too many breaks. You can't get into the flow like a movie. Too many of these instant replays and so many commercials. They're just not going to have an audience soon because it's going to go away. Vegas with their lines are so screwed up. They make up their lines. They don't move them with money. They don't want action. They think they know who's going to win. Oh, we need the underdog here. No, Vegas is missing the point. Like I was reading, Vegas won because Philadelphia beat Atlanta. Why? So what? Everybody was on Atlanta lane, but why didn't the spread move on Atlanta? The spread was 2.5, 3. Why did the line move to 6? Why are they keeping the line there? And then they go, oh, we need Philadelphia. Since Philadelphia won, we won. No, that's not what you are. You're a freaking bookie. Don't you get what you are? You want equal money on Atlanta and Philadelphia. It means you should be moving that line. If there's Atlanta betting, then that line should go up. It should go to 4, 4.5, until you get Philadelphia betting, and then you don't need Philadelphia to pull the upset to win. And, strange enough, Philadelphia pulls the upset, which is corrupt enough right there. But that's the problem, is they don't know what they're doing anymore. They don't have equal betting. They should win every game, not, we lost on New England, but we won on the Philly pulling the upset. No, you should win on the New England game. You should win on all 4 games. You should have even betting. You win the juice. You win on every bet. And the other thing I hear a lot is the teasers. They're scared shitless of the teasers. I'm so tired of hearing people that are scared to play teasers. Well, I got to pick 2 games, and I want to go money line, and I want to go in a 14 parlay. Gambling is investing. It's about patience. It's about being smart. I said to my friend, New Orleans they'll probably win the game, but I love New Orleans getting 11.5. Why don't you bet money line on them? Because the odds on me winning, getting 11.5, are 99%. The odds of me winning in a money line, as you can see, was 0. But, okay, let's say it was 50-50. I knew Drew Brees wasn't going to get blown out. They played Carolina very good, who's got just as good a defense as Minnesota. Luke Kuechly and Thomas and all these guys. So don't go, they're not that much better. And New Orleans was able to beat Carolina 3 times. This is Drew Brees. They're going to score. So, he's running to play the money line because you get $2 on your one or whatever. I'm going, that's the odds on me winning the money line aren't as good as me winning 11.5, which I'm sure is going to win. So I just bury it in 2, 3 big teasers with the Atlanta under, with New England, and there you go. And then it's like I wasn't sweating at the end. Once they made it 20, once it was 20-14, once I was a little bit worried because it could go 27-14, I'd be losing. But once they went 21-20, it was a W. I knew I couldn't lose at that point, and so I just laid back and watched the end of the game with no stress and easy money. And that's what it's about. It's not about the other. It's not about, it's a bigger payoff. If I want a bigger payoff, I play a 3-team teaser or a 4-team teaser, and believe me, I hit plenty of those 4- and 5-team teasers all day and all day because I know how to pick most of these games. Okay, Pittsburgh-Jacksonville, I really didn't have a good feeling. I wouldn't have put him in a 4-team teaser. I would have played a 3-team teaser yesterday, but with what I had. But I pounded the Atlanta under, New Orleans big. So let's get to this weekend. You got Minnesota at Philly as a road favorite. I have no interest in Minnesota here. Again, Nick Foles is learning Philly. This is a defensive game. Minnesota, going out to the cold. They play in a dome. Have a great defense. Okay, so let's look at the defensive numbers. So you got Philadelphia gives up 17-9 a game. They score 28 with Wentz. You know, obviously, let's take 10 away for Foles, so they score like 18. So call them 18-18, about as even. Minnesota gives up 16 a game. So you have a 17 and a 16. Minnesota, they don't, you know, they're not going to go on the road and blow out. I looked at all their road games, except for the Cleveland game, which is like playing at high school. You know, they didn't blow anybody out. They don't blow out people on the road. It's very hard, especially in this. Philly is a home dog. It's very deadly. A home dog in the playoffs is extremely deadly. So the best play here is to go under. The under's 38.5. Go under 44.5. That is the best way to play this game. It'll be cold. You just want to go under. You cannot play Minnesota in this game. You either play Philadelphia with Foles, getting the 9.5, which is probably not a bad play, or you go under 44.5, which I think is the better play based on these two defenses. It's just like Philly-Atlanta, 15-10. You're going to get a similar game. Philly can't score a lot with Foles, so they're going to run the ball a lot. Minnesota, great defense. They're going to score a little, but Philly's got a great defense too. It's funny, I'm looking at, I do my 3 different trends: offense, defense, and the variation between the offense and defense. So first I look at the 4 playoff teams offensively. New England's 1, Philly's 4, Jacksonville's 6, Minnesota's like 9. So you're like, offense isn't the key, because you got teams like Detroit, Baltimore in the mix, who are good offense but aren't in the playoffs. Then you get defensively, 1, 3, 4, and 5 are in the playoffs. Minny's 1, Jacksonville's 2 or 3, Philly's 4, and New England's 5. Remember in the beginning, New England was giving up 30 a game to Carolina, to Houston, to Kansas City, and they end up with 18. That means there's a lot of games under 10 that they're giving up. Now let's not forget New England's defense besides Brady. Then I look at the varying. That's how many points they score offense minus how many points they give up defense. The top team, New England, 10.8. Philly, 9.9. Jacksonville, 8.9. The Rams at 8. And Minnesota at 7.9. So, and then New Orleans was right next at 6.8. So when I look at those, it's right. This is beautiful. This variance. It gives you 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then the 4 teams left. The Rams should never have lost the first game, but again, that's Jared Goff, and that's because they gave him a bye. So let's look at who rested their players. The Rams rested their players, lost. Kansas City rested their players, lost. Pittsburgh rested their players, lost. Although offensively they look fine. Defensively they're terrible. The teams that didn't, New England didn't rest, Philadelphia didn't rest their players. Although I don't know if Goff, how much he played the last week. I think he played a half against Dallas in that 0-0 game. Minny, I don't think rested. No, they needed to win, I think. So again, it goes back to these teams that are afraid to get their players hurt and they rest them. Their timing's off. Look at LA, scored 13 points on Atlanta. I mean, that's embarrassing. Should have been 20 at the end. They had that touchdown. I would have won that over. That pissed me off. So it just shows you that these methods are very strong methods of what I'm figuring out and seeing. So I'm just perfecting them. But again, it's going to be the new coach and what he's going to do to the team. Cleveland will still suck because they have the same coach. Indy without luck. The Giants, who knows? Miami was a playoff team and then terrible. Houston gets Deshaun Watson back. Look out. Denver, they need Chad Kelly, Jim Kelly's nephew, or the kid from Memphis to really step it up. In Oakland, I don't know, they were a playoff team and they sucked this year. Well, that was that whole national anthem. Their guys quit. I told you that week 3 or week 4. They just sucked the whole year. And I don't know that Gruden's nothing. I mean, here's the problem with these assistant coaches for Brett Favre and the assistant coach for Tom Brady. All these coaches for Tom Brady, Charlie Weiss, all the way through, Romeo Cornell, the Cincinnati coach, the guy who went to Denver, they all try to take credit. It's all Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the offensive coordinator. He's on the field. He knows where he's going with the ball. Anytime you've got to be an idiot to hire the offensive coordinator of New England and expect him to do anything because there's no way he's going to do anything. The guy was Tom Brady. He's the key to it. Belichick is nothing without Brady. I don't care what anybody says. You took Bill Walsh, you took Montana off the team. They had Steve Young was okay, and then but look at Montana went to Kansas City and they made the playoffs. So it's all Brady. He wins the games. He wills the teams. He gets the team. He gets the players up. It is not Belichick. Belichick couldn't coach a high school team. He's not that good. He gets credit for the wins. He's not that good. Without Brady, he didn't make the playoffs. Okay, that 1 year, and he's just lucky that the guy got hurt, and then Brady came in, and he was smart enough to keep Brady in, or whoever's decision that was. But you could take Belichick off this team, they still win the Super Bowl. With that, they don't even need a coach. Just let Brady call the offense, and somebody, Mike Vrabel call the defense or whoever. So these assistants that are going, this guy coming to the Lions, what do you expect? This guy will be nothing. Good luck with the Lions. I mean, they suck. They have no defense. So you got to be careful there. So go under the Minny-Philly game. Jacksonville, New England. New England laying 9, 46.5. We now see the way I track Jacksonville when they played the good quarterbacks. Their defense gives up 27. Take New England, lay the 3. Game won't be close. Jacksonville, it's like I said, it's the pitcher you don't know how to defend. Now you've got tape on them. Okay, do you honestly think Fournette's going to get 50 yards on New England? No way. They'll do what they did to Bell, Le'Veon Bell last year, right? He got 5 yards and then he fell down and faked an injury because he knew he couldn't run on New England. It's the same thing here. Fontenot, he sprained his ankle. They shot him up. I don't know how good he's going to be. And then you think these little play action pass or Bortle run. How many yards did Mariota get? What, 20? Bortles will get the same. They need to throw. He ain't going to find anybody open against New England. New England will pick them apart with Brady. Sharp passes, boom, boom, boom. They don't have a chance, Jacksonville. There's no chance. They got a matchup because they got good quarterbacks. But guess what? The quarterback's got to guard Gronk. The running back's out of the backfield. All these little Edelmans and these quick crossings and the running game. Good luck. You can't cover them. I mean, it's... Garoppolo put up 40 on him. Roethlisberger put up 40 on him. This is how you analyze. This is how you handicap. You try to look for similar situations. How is Jacksonville on their own? They gave up 44 to Frisco, 42 to Pitt. Oh, they 10-3 Buffalo. Who's the quarterback? Tyrod Taylor. He sucked at Virginia Tech. I don't know what he's doing in the NFL. That's about as stupid as Josh Freeman being an NFL quarterback. When he sucked at Kansas State, he was the worst quarterback in the Big 12 that year. They had everyone, Oklahoma State, and they go with Josh Freeman from Kansas State, who sucked. I mean, these scouts and these GMs are so stupid. They don't watch the college games. Unbelievable. So you're looking at that. You're looking at New England at home. This is not the Denver defense they're playing, right? Okay, when they played the Denver defense a few years ago, New England pounded them. Pitt had the good defense when they played them, and they still scored 27. There's no way New England scores under 30. You could play the game over also. I think New England -3 is the first play. Secondly, you could play New England over 40.5. Should have no problem. Jacksonville might get 14 points. They're not going to score a lot. It's not going to be Pittsburgh. New England's got a much better defense in the cold. In New England, Tom Brady, good luck. They're not going to do a lot. If the game's close, Brady will win it. That's what Brady does. I don't see the game. It should be like another Tennessee, somewhere in the 30s to the 40s for New England, because they're just going to keep pounding away. And Jacksonville doesn't have the pass rush to stop. They didn't get any pressure on Roethlisberger. What do they think? They're going to run these little slants and dinks all day. You can't defend that. What are you kidding me? You can't hold after 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. I don't care. You can have God playing quarterback. You can't cover these guys. So that's just, and again, Jacksonville's defense is not that good against teams with good quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, 24. Garoppolo, 44. 42 yesterday for Roethlisberger. They got lucky and got 5 picks on Roethlisberger, and half of them were just tips because their receivers couldn't hold it. 27. Two teams got 27 on him. The Rams and then the Chargers got, I think, 20 on him, or 17. So the Rams got 27. Russell Wilson gets 24. Brady will be in the 30s. I don't think Jacksonville can keep up with them. That's the thing. If you think Jacksonville can score in the 20s, you bet the game over, because the New England will score in the 30s, no questions asked. At worst case. At worst, it's 27-20, 47 goes over. But I can't see New England losing this game, championship game at home. They're very comfortable in it. Jacksonville's got to be flat after playing Pittsburgh and beating them. I don't care. You can't. Ohio State doesn't beat Michigan and come back the next week and play a good team and play them. So there's your pick. New England, Philly under, Minnesota under. It's a very strong pick. I don't think, this isn't the upset. The upset could be Philadelphia, but instead of risking taking Philly in the points against Minny, you go under, because if it goes one-sided, it's going to be 20-0. There's not going to be 44.5. That's 6 touchdowns. Where are you going to get 6 touchdowns in this game? Brady could get 6 touchdowns by himself. You don't have a quarterback in here that can get 6 touchdowns, right? You don't have Drew Brees. You don't have Aaron Rodgers. You don't have Matt Ryan, who's iffy. You don't have Wentz. You have Foles, and you have, I've always liked the mini quarterback, Case Keenum at Houston. When he played college ball, he was very good. I always liked him there. I never understood why he didn't get drafted better. But now he's in the, and I don't know, I got to watch better if this is the Baylor offense or not, but that's what you got to watch. Quick pitch about college. UCF's the number 1 team, followed by Ohio State, Penn State, and I'll give Auburn number 4. So basically, if we understand this, Alabama losing to Auburn, if Alabama beat Auburn and they had the SEC championship game, Alabama and Georgia, and Alabama wins, Georgia doesn't make the playoff. If Georgia wins, Alabama doesn't make the playoff. Auburn does. You've just rewarded Alabama for losing and not playing in the championship game, and it's so wrong. It's similar to Penn State, basically. Penn State lost to Ohio State, didn't get into the championship game. Should have been in the playoff. Ohio State should have been in the playoff, or Wisconsin should have been in the playoff. UCF beat Auburn, which beat both Georgia and Alabama. So you can't say UCF couldn't have beat them. I have full confidence. I told you UCF would beat Auburn. They pounded on. They would beat either Auburn or Alabama. I love their quarterback. I hope he goes to Nebraska. Again, that'll be a tough play to figure out how to bet Nebraska next year with that coach. But You just got to wait. Be patient with the coach. You can't jump on him right away because there's not the same talent at Nebraska as there is at UCF. UCF's talent is so much better than Nebraska's. So anyway, that's my thought on that. If you have an Alabama in the playoff, then the whole playoff's fixed. It's a joke. They're not the national champs. They don't belong in there in the first place. You got to at least have teams that win their conferences. You can't have a non-conference winner that didn't even win their division in the playoff. Sorry. And they have 2 SEC teams in the playoff, really? You have none of the Big Ten, none of the Pac-10, and you have 2 SEC teams. And then you wonder why the SEC wins every year. Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to sell me some oceanfront property in Michigan? I'm listening. I don't know what ocean you got here, but it's the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. This instant replay just is killing sports. Oh my God. Anyway, there you go. Bet a lot of money on this teaser. Minny Philly, Jacksonville, New England. Minny under, New England. 2 W's right there. And you got to understand, this gets very confusing when the coaches change and everything else. So it's just another part of my method that I've got to perfect. It's kind of keeping track, because there's never would be so many coaches leaving, and then they come out McVay, and all of a sudden he's Ernie Zampese. It's like, oh really? Okay, he's here, Coryell. Well, where did he come from? So anyway, keep that in mind. It's getting a little tougher. You've got to be conservative and patient when you bet. Don't let one game beat you, and just bet your units. I mean, you got to have your bankroll in your units and bet and build the bankroll. So don't get too excited. And I know I'm very good at this, but it's really just the same method every week. And it's just some weeks the pocket aces hold up, and some weeks the guy pulls a set on me. So you got to keep that in mind. It's just, that's the way this is. My druthers, I'd pick 95% and we'd all be happy, but it's not reality. I can't do that. It's how did Pittsburgh lose to Jacksonville? I can't tell you. I can't tell you how Kansas City blew a 21-3 lead. That's Andy Reid for you. But that happens. All right, everybody. Well, good luck. Happy holidays. I hope everybody had a great New Year's and Christmas. Good luck on this weekend. And good luck. I'll have a Super Bowl one out, and we'll talk more. All right. Thank you, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Have a great day. Goodbye.